Have you ever heard two people speaking Spanish and thought, why do they talk so fast? While it's a common conception by many English speakers that Spanish speakers speak a lot faster, this phenomenon is actually greatly contributed to the fact that Spanish is a language that flows a lot more between the words than English. So whereas in English, I make a steady pause between each word that I say, Spanish is a lot more fluid between all of the words connected. This is why it's not often that you'll hear somebody talking like this. Sí, a mí me gustaría cenar a las 6. Instead, they would say something like, Sí, a mí me gustaría cenar a las 6. Instead of having each word of the sentence be separated with a breath, generally in Spanish, these words and sounds flow together. And this phenomenon has actually created a lot of really interesting combo words in Spanish, similar to the way that we use conjunctions in English. One example of this is the word al, which is just a combination of the word a el. So instead of saying voy a ir a el supermercado, I would say voy a ir al supermercado. Another example of this is the word del, which means de él. So for example, ese es el libro de el profesor would become ese es el libro del profesor. Since de ends with an E and el also starts with an E, it just makes sense to combine them rather than saying both separately. Another thing that contributes to the speed at which Spanish is spoken is the fact that a lot of words are shortened. So for example, many Spanish speakers, instead of saying para, will say pa. So in the example of this Bad Bunny song, instead of saying sube un selfie para que vean, they say sube un selfie pa que vean. And this happens with so many other words in Spanish. Many people, instead of saying hasta luego, see you later, will say da luego, or people will say porfa instead of por favor. By learning these words, not only will you be able to speed up your Spanish speech, but you'll also be able to understand other people a little bit more through the way that they're combining and shortening different words in the Spanish language.